Sound Speeds, and welcome to the announcement of the Epic livestream for the year 2021. Now, last year's Epic livestream went over 14 hours and 35 minutes, but YouTube only archives the first 12 hours, so you can only watch the first 12 hours at the link right there, 12-ish hours. But don't click on that link just yet because we have quite a bit more to discuss, and the link will also be at the end of this video. Now, most importantly, just like last year, we have chosen a charity for this year. Now, why is that important? I'm going to let the charity from last year tell you all about it. In January of this year, if you wore a mask into a bank, you would be tackled and taken to jail. In April, if you wore a mask into a bank, you would be hailed as responsible. This entire world has changed because of 2020, and it's hit a lot of companies hard. Now, how hard has COVID hit you?
Man, it's terrible. We're down about $4 million in fundraising, and we were hitting our goals year after year, and then COVID hit us in March. We had to cancel 2 of our major fundraising events. We have a school program where we try to get elementary kids involved in philanthropy. It's called Kids Care. And with all the schools shut down, obviously there's not fundraising happening within the schools. And then we have the dance marathon program as well, which is our college kids that they all raise money. And normally that brings in about $1.2 million. And of course, they weren't able to hold their events either. Every angle and aspect of fundraising has been hit by us. We tried to do everything virtual. What used to bring in $750 to $1 million only brought in $30,000.
If you've ever worked on a show, there's something called a wrap gift that you get. And wrap gifts are given to cast and crew members that do a show. You can't buy them. It's considered to be frowned upon to sell a wrap gift. However, I want to see your program do well this year. I'm going to show 2 wrap gifts that I've been given on 2 major shows. And I'm going to be accepting bids on those. The person that wants this item the most, I'm going to send it to you out of my own pocket and then take the money that you give me and I will donate it straight to the CHF program here. It was only given to the season 7 members of the crew on Walking Dead. And if you would like this, this is one of the 2 items that I'm going to be putting out there and accepting donations for. But it says Stranger Things Season 2 at the top. It says Netflix on the bottom. If you take the little disc out, it does have production stills in there, but this was given to the cast and crew of Stranger Things. $20 to start with on either one of these, and I will send it to you in exchange for a donation to the Children's Hospital Foundation. The charity we've chosen this year is the Children's Cancer and Blood Foundation in New York. They are a rarity in America, the only clinic of its kind, by the way, that deals with cancer in the blood, especially focused towards children. And there's no other clinic in America that does just that. So I felt it was very important to support them, especially since they have very, very high rankings up on Charity Navigator. They're extremely open with what they do with their funding. They're very transparent with the way that they run their organization and how they spend their money. So it's a very good charity to actually benefit. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing in this year's Epic live stream. Imagine some of my favorite content creators, not just sound-based content creators, but content creators in general, coming together to talk about sound for hours and hours and hours. If that sounds like fun to you, then imagine that it's going to involve a lot of people that are experts in various different aspects of sound and other criteria, and they're going to be adding their own thoughts and opinions on things. Now, sound is obviously what this channel does. And just like last year, where we talked about everything from podcast microphones, wireless, we talked about, what else did we talk about? We told war stories. We just talked about sound nonstop and answered a lot of questions in the chat. But just like last year, we're also going to be inviting special guests to come and talk and lending their expertise. And these are people that you might not normally be able to ask questions to because they may be inaccessible or for whatever reason, they are just not people that you would know how to get in contact with. So we might as well use our resources and try to get them involved with this charity live stream. And so they will be answering your questions in the chat. And also similar to last year, we burned a microphone in the most amazing Yule Log for Sound Speeds in the year 2020. We're going to be doing the same thing again this year, but I had to buy a fire pit because my wife said no more burning microphones in the house. It gagged the wife and daughters, and they weren't that pleased with me over that one, especially since I chose to do it on Christmas Day. But we're going to be doing yet another live Yule Log burning. Well, maybe not live. I'm going to pre-record that one, let the truth be known, but it's going to be done. And I'm not going to spoil what that microphone is going to be. Let's just say it deserves it. Now, unlike last year, where I took some of the bigger wrap gifts that I'd gotten on some of the shows that I've worked on and put those up for donations towards our charity, instead of doing that, this year we're going to raffle off a few things. We're going to be doing giveaways, and it's going to be amazing what we are able to do with this live stream. And how did we do last year? Well, I talked about it in another live stream, but here are the highlights. We did so well, if you have not heard, that in the 14 and a half, a little bit over, hour live stream that we did, we ended up raising about $2,300. And they sent me, it's a calendar, which I should put up there, but I haven't yet. But inside of here, it does have a nice typed out letter here to Sound Speeds, and it also has handwritten thing at the bottom. And we're hoping to raise even more money this year for the CCBF. Now, this year I have 10,000 subscribers and more, and so I'm able to take advantage of the giving program, which it's a YouTube program allowing you to set a series of videos or a live stream up, and all donations are going directly to a charity, 100%. The portion I would get and the portion that YouTube would normally get. And yes, that means that last year, YouTube pocketed 30% of the donations. I pocketed another 70. But it was very important for me to make all the money that we say we were going to and send that to the charity. So I covered YouTube's 30%. That's right. I covered the 30% portion of a billionaire corporation out of my own pocket and the 70% of the donations that I actually saw and sent them at the end of the live stream to the Children's Hospital Foundation. And that's the reason why it looks like the donations that I sent them were so high. Now, as a channel, we did quite well, and I'm hoping to do even better this year. Now, when is this going to take place? Wednesday, December 29th at noon Eastern Standard Time. That's when we're going to be doing this. It's going to be an amazing event, and even if you can't stay the entire, however long it happens to take and last, I would certainly like to welcome you to show up for as long as you possibly can. You're going to learn a lot. There's a lot of experts in there. There's going to be just a ton of information. And yes, I will say it, it'll be a lot of fun. And if you're wanting to know how much fun, well, first of all, there's links to the CCBF in the description below. There's a link to the Epic live stream also below. And here's a summary of some of the fun that we had last year. I think some of you might have heard from him. His channel's got a few subscribers and stuff. Please welcome everyone, Curtis Judd.
I mean, everything's important in your signal chain, obviously, but in terms of changing the timbre or the overall quality, as long as everything else is solid in the chain, I think the microphone's probably going to make a biggest difference. We get wrapped up in cameras and we get wrapped up in recorders or field mixers or audio interfaces or whatever. The reality is that you have to have that stuff to make recordings, but there are skills in applying the tools in the best possible way to get a great result. That's really the art, and that's the part that I get most excited about.
We have someone that a few of you might have also seen his videos. If not, you might have heard his voice in your dreams. The voice that is of Mike Delgadio. Mike, thanks for joining us here today.
You made me joke on that.
Hey, you know what? I coughed in my video recently where I sounded somehow just like you. And I think to Curtis's point, I think it was the microphone. You know, we always know that the microphones are what make us sound good.
Definitely the mic. It's all about the mic. Absolutely.
And the mic spelled M-I-K-E.
My wife and my daughter know you as ZipFizz. They do not know your actual name. It's just, are you doing a live stream? Are you doing a live stream with ZipFizz today? I said, yeah, today's the day.
From Audio for Content Creators, we have Brian Miller joining us. Brian, thanks for joining us as well.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to see you guys. So the global live event industry tanked in the span of about 36 hours in March and wiped out my entire 16-year career. I stared at a wall for about 2 straight days, just sweating bullets, and then called my management, which I've been with for over 10 years now, and we got to work, and within 2 weeks, I had built out a broadcast studio in my house. We were doing virtual events within literally 14 days of that happening, and I now have a bigger, fuller calendar than I've ever had in 16 years.
Wow,
so
that's
it
amazing.
worked.
I did one how to connect some equipment together to make a makeshift voiceover booth just using your coat closet. And that when the viewership went all of a sudden just through the roof, because I think so many people were like, I have maybe a USB microphone or something, but I need to audition, I need to do whatever it was. And all of a sudden the viewership on that went through the roof.
It is now 2:00 and we have a guest in the wings here. It is, let me set this gentleman up for you. He has decades of experience in the world of production sound mixing. He was the boom operator on Hee Haw, if you remember the show back in the day.
Wow.
37 years ago tomorrow, Spandau Ballet sang a song called True. And this man himself is named Glenn True. He's the owner of True Audio, all 5 locations, and he is an absolute gem of a man with years and years of experience. But you'd never tell it because of his lifestyle, because he lives like a guy in his 20s. How are you doing,
That's right.
Glenn?
I'm doing fine.
How would you describe Hee Haw to any of the younger people that are not blessed with having watched it on television?
Okay, well, it was centered around the South, the country stereotypes. A lot of moonshine, a lot of people, in fact, everyone was wearing bib overalls, a lot of corny jokes that on second glance were actually, fairly sophisticated, which is typical of Southern humor, I guess. But when the music happened, that was some very, very sophisticated and super skilled, talented music.
Ian is an audio content creator. He's out of the UK. He does a lot of microphone reviews. If you're interested in any of his stuff,
my channel is about people who want to get into video from the beginning, don't want to spend a massive amount of money, don't want to even treat a room, and just use the thing in their front room. Sorry, I'm on my phone because everything else blew up.
if you ever need podcasting technique and knowledge, then you're definitely going to want to look up someone like Chris, who is from the podcast engineering school.
10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, which now 10,000 Bitcoin now is worth
A franchise. A
no,
Papa John's
like
franchise
literally like $1 trillion, like no joke.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. What was that actually used for?
It was commissioned as a spy recorder.
Wow.
And it's extremely precise and very reliable. The quality is amazing. Just the audio quality.
Do you know, the funny thing is, in the UK, in the early crime series, those sort of spy thriller crime series, they often used machines that looked exactly like that. I've seen the same design in so many early UK crime thrillers.
Yeah.
It's really funny to see. Actually, they do exist. I love the NT one.
It's you know what? It's an amazing mic. It's way yeah. There you go, right in front of Chris there.
Oh, there it is now. I thought he was making a rude sign at me from Australia.
And I'm going to extend this question also to one other person that's going to join us right now. I wonder what microphone he would choose. Hello, Andrew from Deity.
Well, I know I shouldn't choose one of my own, right? Because that's such a cop-out answer. Actually, one of my favorite microphones that I actually own, an AKG D22 4D. It's a dual dynamic driver system. One's in the front, one's in the rear of this pencil mic, but it's a dynamic pencil mic. And it sounds beautiful on the voice. It's got tons of rear rejection by using the dual diaphragm system. One's out of phase with the other. I was able to pick one up at an estate sale in Los Angeles for $25.
When you buy a microphone and it's going to be delivered to your house in the winter, and that they're going to put it on my front step when it's like 3 degrees, I'm like, I keep looking for the mailman. I'm like, I don't want it to sit outside, you know?
Or even on the truck, on the delivery truck.
My mailman actually planted one of my microphones in a flower pot and forgot to tell me it was there. And I found it.
No.
There's a new
didn't
definition
survive.
of plant mic.
From the other side of the planet, it's already tomorrow there. This is my bearded sound speed brother. This is David. How's it going, David?
What's up, David?
Oh,
Hello from
I don't
the
hear you.
future. It's not too bad
There he
here.
goes. The future.
Can you hear me?
Is-
Can you hear me?
Is COVID over? Are you done?
Yeah, so
In New
it's not
Zealand?
too bad from the future, aside from like the alien invasion outside.
We also have Kevin, basic filmmaker, right here in the house. And he is joining us just in time for our 3:30 guests. And let me tell you here, I'm excited to have him. He's not only reclusive in the world of social media, he enjoys talking to people face to face, at least in my experience. However, he is still the president of Lectrosonics Wireless. This is Gordon Moore. Gordon, thank you so much for joining us here today.
That's been the goal, robust. It's got to perform when it's tough, because it's not getting easier.
No.
I'm drinking a lot harder liquor now than I was 20 years ago. We found a restaurant and everything was in Japanese except one word in the middle, gourmet. So we thought, well, we'll try that. And they couldn't find their one English menu, so they brought out a Japanese menu that had pictures, and we just kind of pointed, and it was one of these barbecue places where you barbecue the meat at your table. And it was really good, really good. And then at the end of the evening, we were thinking about dessert, and they found the menu. They were very excited, so they brought it to us, and we looked up what we had ordered. And the final thing, which actually was pretty tasty, was pork rectum. And so that's what the government gave us.
Okay, terrific.
If you were thinking about people that are hit hard, it makes me wonder if Andre from Worth It or Not happens to have COVID right now, because he seems to be pretty well protected from us here in this stream. How you doing there, Andre?
Good morning, Vietnam.
The only thing that seemed to behave was my HTTX and my S Mic 2 that I beat the living crap out of, which is still working. So thank you very much for making stuff that works.
I think you also beat some crap into it when you hucked it into the toilet.
That was clean. There's no way.
Gourmet.
And you have a lot of people that swear by your products and use a lot of them on a daily basis. And one of the people I've invited to join us here in the stream right here, he is the sound mixer of Tyler Perry's movies and television shows. This is Cujo, Aaron Cujo Cooley. He's a sound mixer that sometimes has as many as 20 people in his sound department on the television shows he works on. So welcome here, Cujo.
Hey, welcome.
Can you hear us at all? Yeah. He's muted. He seems to be muted there. Well, Cujo,
sound matters.
You seem to be muted, and you jumped it.
Sound is right.
Wireless Designer is great because I can do a scan and I can do all of my coordination and all of my programming at the click of a button, and it does it fantastically. But when you use the scan feature, you lose your receivers go dead for a minute while you're using the scan feature. You can't scan and listen to what's coming in at the same time, and that's just a physical limitation. It's not Wireless Designer's fault. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, your radio is scanning frequencies, so you're going to drop off.
You're going to drop off. It can't do both at the same time.
At least we muted the damn thing so you didn't get the in the middle of it all.
We put an SMQV on an airplane that we sent into the sky at a private airport that we were shooting on Necessary Roughness, and that plane went off in the distance. I think I emailed you the picture back, this is like 8 years ago or something. But we got him. I mean, he was circling the sky. We were picking up dialogue, hearing people on the inside laughing and making jokes about the sound department. And we're like, we can hear you. We can hear you because we have Electrosonics Wireless in 250 milliwatts up there.
At the high end of the spectrum up here at the 600 end, that's all the 4G, LTE, and Nextel walkie-talkies up there.
Yeah, I see that.
Is that even legal in the UK?
I don't think it's legal in the United States.
Well, I don't think you can get away with it here.
No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so I've got to figure out how to put 50 channels of wireless in this.
I feel so lucky in New Zealand. At least we've got 600 megahertz we can use still, because we've got so much less, I think, bandwidth you can use over there. Sorry. Just so rubbing in all the other awesome things about New Zealand.
People still talk about the guard band and the duplex gap. But yeah. you have certain special rules you have to follow.
It's 20 milliwatts, and it's and the units can only broadcast in those frequencies. It can only broadcast in the frequencies. So if you've got a transmitter, for example, that falls on that, but it's capable of tuning outside those bands, illegal.
I'm going to go ahead and add one of my friends here also from the Search for Awesome. This is Titus. Welcome, Titus. How's it going?
Hey, Titus.
Hey,
how you doing?
guys.
I cook bacon in the oven. Absolutely, Timothy. That is something that is a rule that we will
microwave.
Cook bacon.
Bacon in the oven? What the hell is wrong with you? Cast iron,
microwave.
Dude.
No, microwave. Because if it's one strip of bacon, it's 1 minute.
Oh my God, you're
3 strips of bacon, 3 minutes. And it gets it the way that Alan likes it.
I'm telling you, oven bacon's the way to go.
Oven bacon.
It's so
Like,
good.
taking the bacon fat and putting that into the oven, so it's like crispy chips. It's quite nice.
This is the Electro Voice 664 Yule Log. This video will be going out on my channel. You'll see it as soon as the stream is over. I will go public with this, and you can enjoy it in its wonderful glory. Hear it and see it fry inside of my fireplace for a good solid hour. You see fire coming out of the button, which is in the middle of right where it starts to bend.
This is why we can't have nice things, Alan.
Yeah, pretty much. But I tell you, that microphone.
You're mad man. You're committing crimes against microphones.
Well, always.
You should be
That's my-
taken to
that's what I
international
do.
court.
I've reached out to Electro Voice, and I have said, can you repair a microphone that has accidentally been burned a bit? And we'll see what they say. We'll see what kind of if they're going to be able to do this. In the wings, we have yet another content creator here from YouTube. From RLFO Sound, we have
Rodolfo Piedras.
There you go. Rodolfo, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. Rodolfo Piedras.
There you go.
Okay.
Great
I'll
to
just
see
say
you there.
RLFO
You're
Sound.
one of
I'll
my
just say
favorite
that.
channels.
I bought out the North American stock of 4060s in one fell swoop about 4 weeks ago.
Did you? Well,
yeah, I bought 40 lavs in one shot.
Jeez, man. That's amazing.
Hey, COVID compliance, man. Every actor gets their own lav. Every actor gets their own transmitter.
Oh, man. You hear my wife and daughter both coughing and not happy with me at all for frying the microphone.
Shaking up the house.
Especially since it was Christmas Day, with all the wonderful stuff going on, so that's what I do. And then they're just like, oh, Alan, this is terrible. I'm like, yep. And that's just my responses. I'm like, yep, sure is.
You should do that next year and make it a Christmas tradition.
Christmas tradition, always, microphones frying on an open fire. Yes, exactly. It's certainly need to do that. Real quick, I'm going to add one more person to the stream here, the amazing Julian Kraus, coming from Germany, where it's very quickly becoming the last day of the year. I see two identical Shep CMC 641s right there.
Yeah, once I saw the microphone from Rodolfo, I just had to join because come on.
You had to do it.
Sitting on that beautiful Sonella mount.
I was going to say, he's got a Sonella A6 II there, it looks like. And
that's a really nice mount.
Is that, and I can't tell what Julian has down there.
Rodolfo, it's a very, very expensive, I think $5 eBay shock mount. So, yeah.
Oh, nothing but the best, Julian.
Definitely.
I'm going to add right now our friend, Bandrew Scott. How's it going, Bandrew?
Who?
Oh, my gosh. I should just take him back out.
Take me out. Hey.
Take you out. I'm going to invite Mr. Ray Ortega. Thank you so much for joining us, Ray.
Thank you, sir.
How's it going, Ray?
It's going good, man. I've been enjoying the content. Just sitting over here. I'm as useful here as I am in the chat. Like I don't know why I came in, but
and I tried it out and I was not impressed at all with the sound or the video. Well, the video was fine, but I wasn't impressed at all with the stabilization. It had that weird digital warbliness. My channel was just starting at the time, and somebody I saw got some advice online saying like, hey, whenever you make a video, you should go on Reddit and find the communities that are interested in that product or whatever and tell them about their video. And I was like, oh, that sounds like great advice. So I went to the GoPro fan base and posted this video about why I was returning the GoPro Hero 5 and why I didn't think it was a great camera and like whatever. I got lambasted by that community. They did not find it, these passionate GoPro people, they did not find that super helpful, that I did not like their awesome camera. It's like, hey guys, here's a link. And then I just got
self-promotion on Reddit on the GoPro fan page to a video trashing a GoPro. I love it.
Well, I don't.
I learned
that's the trifecta right there, man. Oh, geez.
That is the best troll. I love it.
Have you seen the new Boston Dynamics video, the robot video?
The dancing robots? That's horrifying. Now all we know is they're going to be able to mockingly dance on our graves after they slaughter us all, after the uprising.
Didn't you play PUBG, man? Hey, I have an audio question since we're experiencing it in the moment. Are they ever going to, someone who knows internet audio, VoIP, codecs, whatever, are they ever going to figure out how when we overtalk each other, it doesn't just squid. You know, we step on each other, can't hear the audio, right? There's a common problem where I record a lot of stuff remotely online, podcasts and stuff, and you have to tell people try not to talk over because you will lose that piece of audio.
I did do a video with Dan Dugan where he talked about the Dan Dugan auto mix. He says it's available for license.
When two people speak and someone is louder, then the software thinks, oh, okay, there's only one speaking and the other one is noise, and then he suppresses it. So I think this can also happen.
This is our friend, Michael Wynn. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, everybody. Good to see some familiar faces and friends here.
This is what I do, Julian. I see an idea from you. I steal it from my channel and make a video about dummy resistors. I see Titus doing something. I just take.
Julian, is that right there? Julian, is that? I don't mean to interrupt, but is that a Shep's Colette?
Yeah, it's a.
Oh wow!
Tell the man what he
CMC6, yeah. So,
Rodolfo has the same thing.
Rodolfo, we're
Oh, sorry, Rodolfo. His angle was better than yours.
Say the most known or well-known sentence to test the plosives, because now you change the pop filter. There's one thing you have to do with the microphone.
Oh yeah, this is where this is. Let me take from someone else. Bandrew knows what I'm going to steal from Bandrew. Please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. We're hearing various microphones, things in the background, and we're losing audio. So look, I'm the jerk. It's okay. It's the content I'm here for.
You manage my stream so much better than I do. I just let anything go. I'm going to start chowing down on popcorn here in a second. My wife brought this to me like 4 hours ago. I told David that he needs to hire me and bring me down for a job, so we have Sound Speed and Sound Speeds working together.
When I was first starting out, I was a bit reckless. I'd fly by the seat of my pants. Now I feel a bit of a responsibility, where I'm going to take that extra effort to try to make sure that I'm not putting out incorrect information or misleading people. Because I have a slightly larger audience, I'm not going to be as carefree as I was when I had 500 subs. So
and what happens, like, you built your audience being that way, but what happens is what you find out is that there are people who will buy everything that you recommend just because you did a video about it, which is starts to feel.
If you're going to send me a product, I'm going to review it. And if it's a good product, I will let you know. There's always pros and cons to everything. I don't care what it is. If you're a Sony fan or a Canon fan, there's always pros and cons. I want to be able to give them a good overview or a good synopsis of what this product is. Is it worth $150? Is it worth $300? Or is it just not worth it at all? And, kind of leave it up to the viewer. But that's why I always give examples.
Well, I think that's incredibly important, because if you may think, or maybe nobody here, I hope nobody here, some people may be intentionally shady and try to mislead people. The only reason we have channels and have people who watch us is because we develop trust between ourselves and the people who are watching us.
You got to be true to yourself and do your best, because I think it's really easy to burn out on this thing if you're not,
100%.
Yeah. So I hope to see you at the Epic live stream for the year 2021. Who knows how long the thing is going to last? It's going to be amazing, and I certainly want to welcome you to participate and show up there. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Sound Speeds, and be sure to tune in the future for more announcements, especially related to this, fun, and sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.